Let's offer prayers together. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashkatai Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare. I hope I am audible. Speaker is also okay. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone for today's continuation of study of teachings of Lord Chaitanya. I hope everyone is able to see the screen. So this was from chapter 6. And today we're going to come to the 7th and the 8th chapter. Because this is a little technical and tricky, so I'll do a quick recap for all of you so we understand what this is. So Lord Shri Krishna, I hope you're able to see the document now. Yeah. So Lord Shri Krishna manifests himself in 3 features. Yeah. He manifests himself in 3 features in his transcendental form. First is called Swayam Rupa. Do I need to zoom in or is visible? Okay. And then Tad Ekatma Rupa. And third is Avesh Rupa. Swayam Rupa means his personal form. These forms are found in Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka. Even within Vrindavan, Krishna takes a particular form, let's say in Gokula, to have relationship with Mother Yashoda. Then he takes another form in Vrindavan to have Raslila pastimes. Like this, he has multifarious forms. Then there is Tad Ekatma Rupa, which is his form, but slightly different. Mainly Vasudev, Anirudh, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Narayana, these all forms are part of Tad Ekatma Rupa. Then the third is called Avesh Rupa. This is how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explaining Sanatana Goswami. Avesh Rupa is his own expansions, or we can say some, can we mute that? His own expansions or some suitable qualified living entities who represent Krishna. wherein one of the opulences of Krishna manifests through that living entity. Or else the Krishna expands himself, manifesting not all the six opulences, but one of the opulences in particular, like that. So that is called as Avesharupa. So this personal form of the Lord, Swayam Rupa, is divided into two things we saw, right? Uh, Prabhav and Vaibhava form. I hope you have somewhere written. So what are the Prabhav expansions? These are expansion which Krishna did to take part in rasa dance. 16,000, sorry, कहते हैं, the 100 crore gopi season when Krishna danced, those expansions called Prabhav expansions. Then what are the Vaibhav expansions? These are the expansions that Lord took. These are Krishna himself, not different than Krishna, but unique is when Krishna had expanded himself in 16,108 times at Dwarka, like this. Now, this expansions, Prabhav and Vaibhav, are further divided into Prakash and Vilasa form. What is Prakash and Vilasa form? So we have Prabhav and Vaibhav. And then they're divided into, this is from CC now, this wasn't mentioned. So I'm now referring from CC now. This कहते हैं Prabhav and Vaibhav is further divided into Prakash and Vilas form, which means it gives four forms. Prabhav Vilas, Prabhav Prakash, Vaibhav Vilas, Vaibhav Prakash. Hare Krishna. कुछ घुस रहा है?
Confusion. Prabhu,
explanation
for Vaibhav, you said 16,108 for Prabhu and for Prabhu.
Say that again.
16,108.
हाँ.
These are for Vaibhav, right?
Okay. मैंने कोई याद नहीं करा हुआ, मैं भी देख के ही बोल रहा हूँ. So I'll confirm. Let me see again. So when Krishna expanded, so Prabhav expansion refers to his expansion in Rasa Leela. That is Prabhav expansion. And then his Vaibhav expansion at Dwarka when he expanded to 16,108 times, like this. So here Prabhupada mentions Prabhav and Vaibhav 400 form. Yeah, so we're going to come to that now. I have not mentioned over here. So these are Prabhav, Vilas and Prakash, Vaibhav, Vilas and Prakash. So don't look into this because yesterday was a little concise. Today I'm getting into details of each form represent what. Is it clear? Let's take a look here now. So let's talk about Prabhav Prakash. So when Akrura was accompanying both Krishna and Balram, at that time the Vishnu form which Krishna took, that is called as Prabhav Prakash. Maybe look, I can share this my summary notes here, na? You see this notes only. If you see the notes, you'll not get together. Maybe you see the notes right now. That's better. All of you is able to see? I mean, this is again, don't try to memorize. This is for our important concept. So don't try to within your mind map it कौन कहाँ जा रहा है. आपका mapping भी नहीं हो रहा ना? That's okay. That's okay. मैंने भी कोई इसको memorize नहीं करा है. I'm just reading out from the notes here. When Krishna appeared before his mother Devaki in his four-handed form of Narayana, just before his divine birth in Mathura, that was Prabhav Vilas. When he changed himself into two-handed form at the request of his parents, that is called Vaibhav Prakash. In his personal form, Krishna is just like a cowherd boy, and he thinks of himself in that way. That is also Vaibhav Prakash. Whereas when he takes the role of a Kshatriya at Mathura, that form is called as Vaibhav Vilas. That is his Vasudev form, like this. Then there is Tad Ek Atma Rupa form, which are further divided into Vilas and Swamsha. And this Vilas is further divided into Prabhav and Vaibhava form. So those are the Narayan, Chaturvyuha, and the further Vishnu form that comes from there. So I'm just going to skip that. We read that yesterday. Uh, okay. The different categories of expansion in the spiritual are simply to facilitate. That's the point I want to bring here. The different categories of expansion in the spiritual are simply to facilitate the relationship with the separated expansions. Like Swayam Rupa form, which he has in Gokul, is to have Vasalyas with his parents. And of the Swayam Rupa Kahi Prabhav expansion is for Rasalila. And then the expansion that he has called as Vaibhav expansion, where he acts as a Kshatriya, that is in Mathura, as a prince to enhance the parental affection of Devaki and Vasudeva. Like this. In the Mathura portion of Goloka Vrindavan, a form known as Keshava is situated. This form is also represented in Atali, Mathura. How many of you have gone to Keshav temple in Mathura? Right. Similarly, there is a Purushottama form in the spiritual realm at the outskirts of Goloka, which is represented in Jagannath Puri on our earth. Some of the examples of those kind of representations are Padmanabh in Anandaranya, that is Trivandrum of Kerala in India, and Hari in Mayapur, that is Calcutta, what we know of, which is the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya, like this. Many other farms are also situated in various places in Earth, not only this universe, but in all other universes as well. The farms of Krishna are distributed everywhere. So, two, three things that we'll see here. First is the different forms of the Lord for different pastimes. The Lord expressed, but he is identical, and there are different names by which he is known. The second thing, he has unlimited forms in the spiritual world, and so does in the material world. However, like this planet Earth has 7 continents, so all the 7 continents had, Ishta Devta. However, unfortunately, over a period of time, we lost that. Most of it predominantly is available in Bharat. So many times questions asked, why do we find all this thing in Bharat? No, it is not only in Bharat. It is all over the world. However, we only have remaining those temples in India today, not rest of the world. And therefore, the point is made. Now, back in this 21st century, the 20th century, Srila Prabhupada went and established all those temples on all the continents. Now, Krishna worship happens on all the continents. So that's the point which comes here. Yeah, this is here. Through the activities of Worldwide Hare Krishna movement, many of these places are very recently retraced and worship have begun. So, fine. This is where I would pause here. I'll continue on the further aspect of Vasudev, Anirudh, Sankarshan, Pradyumna as described in CC. I'll briefly touch upon it tomorrow. We'll go in the purport. The how they represent different aspects of our thinking, feeling, willing, etc., is another tricky subject. All right. Okay. So let's come back where we were yesterday. We'll continue reading from there. We were in chapter 7, Unlimited Forms of God. And we had read the first 2 paragraphs, right? In the spiritual sky, all the planets dominated by the Narayana feature are eternal. The topmost planet in the spiritual sky is called Krishna Loka and is divided into 3 different portions, Gokul, Mathura, and Dwarka. In the Mathura portion, the form of Keshava is always situated. He is also represented on this Ati planet. We just read that, Keshava Murti. So we read all the others like this, the whole paragraph. Next paragraph. The different forms of Krishna are distributed throughout the universe to give pleasure to the devotees. It is not that devotees are born only in India. This is an important point. There are devotees in all parts of the world, but they have simply forgotten their identity. These forms incarnate not only to give pleasure to the devotee, but to re-establish devotion service and perform other activities which vitally concern the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Some of these forms and incarnations mentioned in the scriptures, such as Vishnu incarnation, Trivikrama, Narasimha, and Vamana incarnation. So now there are interesting references which are given. So according to Siddhartha Samhita, there is a description of the 24 forms of Vishnu. Each form has a particular name pertaining to the position of the 4 items: club, conch, disc, and lotus. Which hand holds what according to that? There are 24 combinations like this. So that is mentioned here in details. Let's take a look. In this way, Vasudev may be described as being represented by mace, conch, disc, and lotus, whereas Sankarshan by mace, conch, lotus, and disc. So last two things have interchanged. Similarly, Pradyumna is represented by disc, conch, mace, and lotus. So you can read it for yourself. This is just about different combination producing, having different Vishnu forms. Going to the next paragraph. According to the Haya Sish Pancharatra, there are 16 forms, and these forms are named differently according to the situations of the disc and mace. The conclusion is that the Supreme Original Personality Godhead is Krishna. He is called Leela Purushottamaha, and he resides particularly in Vrindavan as a son of Nanda. It is also learned from the higher Sish Pancharatra that there are 9 forms protecting each of these 2 Puris, known as Mathura Puri and Dwarka Puri. Who are protecting these Puris? Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh. They protect Mathura Puri, while Dwarka is protected by Narayana, Nasimha, Hayagriva, Varaha, and Brahma. These are different manifestations of the Prakash and Vilas forms of the Lord Krishna. So this was up to now about Swayam Rupa and Tat Ekatma Rupa. Now Avatar, Swamsha, the discussion begins. Lord Chaitanya also informs Sanatana Goswami that there are different forms of Swamsha. And these are divided into the Sankarshan division. So all these expressed from Sankarshan, that's what it means. From first division comes Purushavatar, Karanadakshay, Garbhadakshay, Shirodakshay. And from other division comes Leelavatar. In total, there are 6 incarnations. Purushavatar, Leelavatar, Gunavatar, Manvantravatar, Yugavatar, and Shakyavesh Avatar. Out of the 6 Vilas manifestations of Krishna, there are 2 divisions based on his age. These are called Balya and Pauganda, young age and teenage. As a son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna in his original form enjoys both of his childhood aspects, namely Balya and Pauganda. It is thus safe to conclude that there is no end to the expansions and incarnations of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya explains some of them to Sanatan just to give him an idea how the Lord expands and enjoys. These conclusions are also confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.26. There it is said that there is no limit to the incarnations of the Supreme Lord, just as there is no limit to the waves of the ocean. So you can maybe more or less take this as an puppet to this particular verse where it is said like this. There's another interesting verse comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Just give me a second, let me pull it out. Okay, how do I do it? Veda base will take time for me. Okay, let me just 1 second, please. उसमें फिर exact लिखना पड़ेगा बस. Let's see if this is the verse. No, this is not the verse. This is actually that verse is from 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm just opening my Vedavis. Just give me a quick second. Very interesting. Okay, I'll just say the meaning of it. So, idea of that verse comes in 3rd canto, which says, whatever form a purified devotee worships or gets attracted to, Lord appears to the devotee in that particular form. Can you imagine how customizable, how tailor-made Supreme Personality of Godhead is to us? When a person is about to get married, he is looking for a highly customizable, tailor-made partner. Hyena. And finally ends up settling down with whatever comes my way. This is in my destiny. Yes or no? Hyena. But no, in case of a relationship with the Lord, nothing doing. But for whom? A purified devotee. So to whichever form he is attracted to. And even if you see, as you were mentioning, Prabhupada is only mentioning here, not mentioned by Prabhupada, as you were making point on that note. The form of the Lord is present all over this world. Over a period of time, we lost it. It's now only available in a tract of land called as India. But Srila Prabhupada established that all over the continents, all the seven continents. And if you see, although Krishna is one, but all the temples, Krishna look different. One is called Radha Madhav, one is called Radha Shyam Sundar, Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan, whatnot. So to whichever form you are attracted, what a freedom is given in relationship. To whichever form you're attracted, you're attracted to Krishna, you're attracted to Rama, you're attracted to Vamana, you're attracted to Narasimha. You like to swim around, be with Matsyavata. Whatever you want. You like the ferocious form, okay, be with Narasimhadev. Although it's not ferocious actually, it's most beautiful form, as Prahlad Maharaj says. So all that options are available. Why does Krishna do like this? So again goes back to the fundamental question here. Why did Krishna created us? Idea is if Krishna is Atma Rama, he doesn't depend on anything. Going back to really core fundamental thing here. If he is Atma Rama, then why does he need us? Now we are his Amsha. Let's say forget about us. Why did he create Radha? Radha means to serve. And then why did he expand himself in Balram? Just to have, he is, and the answer is, he is still Atmaram, even despite expanding himself as Balram and rest of us, or as Shrimati Radharani and Lakshmi and whatnot. He is still Atmaram. Why? Because everything is his Amsha only. If he is enjoying with his himself only. The question is, why did Lord do like that? So, to exchange, to have rasa, and to have relationship, therefore, he has unlimited forms. That is an opulence in itself. And these are not called as mystic expansions. They all are unique individual personalities. They exist simultaneously in the spiritual world. Therefore, it is said spiritual world is unlimited. Every form of the Lord have their own planet, residing with his own set of devotees, and they're having these pastimes like this. Is it making some sense? Um, you know, uh, is not the concept is not like this. There is one God, accept it. You like or dislike it. You have to, can't do anything about it. You have to, your part, his part and parcel. So you have to adjust with him. In married life, adjusted. Brahmachari life, maybe adjusted. Back to home, back to Godhead, only enjoyment, no adjustment. But this enjoyment will only come for them who have adjusted here. Who have learned to adjust here will only get that enjoyment. Otherwise, it ain't coming. Who are acting too independent now, you will not get it back. Fine. So let's move forward. So हमने क्या पढ़ा अभी तक? Yeah. Now let's a little bit introduce the concept of Vasudeva, Anirudh, and Krishna Pradyumna. We'll take in detail later on. Now next is Krishna's energy can be divided into three: thinking, feeling, and willing. When he is exhibiting his thinking energy, he is the Supreme Lord. When he exhibits his feeling energy, he is Lord Vasudev. And when he exhibits acting energy, that is Sankarshan, means Balaram. Without his thinking, feeling, acting, there will be no possibility of creation. So, which means our feeling is possible when it is empowered by Vasudeva. Our acting is only done possible by Balaramji. And our thinking is done possible. Yeah, नाम नहीं given है. Oh, 1 second. Just let me go back to my note. Sankarshan. So thinking. So thinking is Krishna, feeling is Vasudev, and acting is Sankarshana or Balaram. So without his thinking, feeling, acting, there would be no possibility of creation. Although there is no creation in the spiritual world, for there the planets are beginningless. There is creation in the material world. In either case, however, both the spiritual and material worlds are manifestations of the energy of acting, in which Krishna acts in the form of Sankarshan and Balaram. What does this mean actually? When it is said in Bhagavad Gita, 9 chapter, verse number 2 or 4, I believe, 2 probably, no, 4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. I am present everywhere in my unmanifested form. How a devotee sees Krishna in all situation, at all time, place. He knows when he is thinking, that ability comes from, that is Krishna. When he is feeling, that ability is said to be of Vasudev. And when he is acting, that Bala comes from Balaram. So anything that is happening everywhere in all situations, he can see that Krishna is present. And this subject matter, Srila Prabhupada touches in third canto. Bhaktivedanta Purna Swami Maharaj actually bases all his study based on this concept, that how you can see everything happening in the creation, just like, to give an example, when you see this bulb here, what do you understand? When you look at the bulb, what comes to your mind? Yeah, you see the light, you see the source. What else does it come in mind? The bulb is not independent source of light. So the source of light for the bulb is just a medium for that energy to manifest. What is what is the source of this energy? There is some hydrothermal or nuclear plant somewhere. So you see the connection with the source. Yes. Similarly, when you see somebody thinking, feeling, and willing, you immediately see the source. This is Krishna factor, this is Vasudeva factor, this is Balarama factor. All right, moving forward. Somebody would like to read? Swami? Aparo. The spiritual world of the Vaikuntha planets. Host is not allowing. Very good. Yes, host is allowed now. Go ahead.
The spiritual world of the Vaikuntha planets and Krishna Lok, the supreme planet, is situated in his energy of thinking. Although there is no creation in the spiritual world, which is eternal, it is still to be understood that the Vaikuntha planets depend on the thinking energy of the Supreme Lord. This thinking energy is described in Brahma Samhita 5.2, where it is said that the supreme abode, known as Goloka, is manifested like a lotus flower with hundreds of petals. Everything there is manifested by Anant, the Balram or Sankarsana form. The material cosmic manifestation and its different universes are manifest through Maya or material energy. However, one should not think that material nature or material energy is the cause of this cosmic manifestation. Rather, it is caused by the Supreme Lord, who uses his different expanses through material nature. In other words, there is no possibility of any creation without the superintendence of the Supreme Lord. The form by which the energy of material nature works to bring out creation is called the Sankarshan form, and it is understood that this cosmic manifestation is created under the superintendence of the Supreme Lord. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.46.31, it is said that Balram and Krishna are the origin of all living entities, and that these two personalities.
Next paragraph, please. No, not you. Continue on the screen. We have to go to the next paragraph. Yeah.
That these two personalities enter into everything. A list of incarnations is given in Srimad Bhagavatam.
So those are the lists. That's okay. So this is comes from first canto, third chapter. These are the lists given. Okay, these are the names of the Lord. It's purifying. We can chant only. So we can say that together. Kumara, Narada, Vara, Masya, Yajna, Narayan, Kadama, Kapila, Dattatreya, Hayashish, Hamsa, Dhruvapriya, Prishnigarbha, Rishabha, Prithu, Nasimha, Kurma, Dhanvantri, Mohini, Vamana, Bhargava, that is Parshuram, Raghavendra, Vyasa, and Balaram, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki. Go ahead.
Because almost all of these 25 Leela avatars appear in one day of Brahma, which is called a Kalpa. They are sometimes called Kalpa avatars. Out of these, the incarnation of Hams and Mohini are not permanent, but Kapil, Dattatreya, Rishabh, Dhanvantri, and Vyas are five eternal forms and they are more celebrated. The incarnations of the tortoise Kurma, the fish Matsya, Narayana, Varaha, Haya, uh, Sri Garbha, and Balram are considered to be incarnations of Vaibhava. Similarly, there are three guna avatars or incarnations of the qualitative modes of nature, and these are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Thank you. Kashil Prabhu, read further. 14 Manvantara avatars.
Hare Krishna. There are 14 Manvantara avatars: Yagya, Vibhu, Satyasena, Hari, Vaikunta, Ajita, Vamana, Sarvabhauma, Rasabha, Vishwakshena, Dharma Setu, Sudama, Yogeshwara, Brahadbhanu. Out of these 14 Manvantar avatars, Yagya and Vamana are also Leela avatars. The Manvantar avatars are also known as Vaibhava avatars.
Continue.
The 4 Yoga avatars are also described in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Satya Yuga, the incarnation of God is white. In the Treta Yuga, he is red. In the Dwapar Yuga, he is blackish. And in the Kali Yuga, he is also blackish. But sometimes, in a special Kali Yuga, his color is yellowish, as in the case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As far as Shaktivesh avatars are concerned, they include Kapila, Rishabha, Ananta, Brahma, although sometimes the Lord himself becomes Brahma. Chatusana, the Kumaras who are incarnation of knowledge, Narada, the incarnation of devotional service, King Prithu, the incarnation of administrative power, and Parshuram, the incarnation who subdues evil principles.
Hare Krishna. So here, the names are given, and now in the next chapter, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continues to speak to Sanatana Goswami. We'll speak more in details about starting with Purusha Avatar, Karna Daksha, Garbha Daksha, Shiva Daksha, Vishnu. So after just going through this much only, well, we have not come to the Purusha Avatar, वो तो अपना ही अपना opulence है. How many of you feel now? अरे कृष्णा रासलीला में नाच लिया, अपना क्या जाता है? That is his right only, na? Ultimately, he is the boss. Everything is Amsha. Because you were given an education in such a way, we were never taught into the science of the greatness and the things of this whole creation. We were thinking we are that. Therefore, it is said, before we can come to 10th canto subject matter, this is what is happening, is what we're going to read in Bhagavatam in the first 9 cantos. So now Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go in details about the opulence of Karana Daksha Vishnu. So next chapter is, how from his pores universes manifest. So when there is a systematic education like this, then that sense. So what's going to happen? Okay, let me put it this way. If through a systematic education, if you understand the greatness of Krishna, then how your perspective of looking at Ras Leela would change, is my question to you. Is it making sense? Now, with the systematic way, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching Sanatana Goswami, and now, after studying all this, in the end, you understand the greatness of the Lord. How your perspective to, let's say, Rasila pastime would change. Because generally, Rasila pastime is which is generally commented about. How would it change? What would you say? Yes.
We understood that from this discussion that Jiva, Lord manifests himself into unlimited forms due to Jiva.
We can give him the mic now. All I devotees will not hear that. Yeah, okay.
So Prabhuji, we understood that Lord manifests himself into unlimited forms due to this desires of the jiva. So it is given some prize or some we can say special consideration to the topmost devotees that they want to exhibit.
Correct, correct, correct. You're looking at my question is, once you understand the greatness of the Lord, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching Sanatana Goswami, I mean, the question could be, na, yaar, our life is okay now. We're chanting 16 rounds. Why read about Haya Shisha, Haya Griva, Plana Dikana, Tesaina? What kya karna hai? Some of you might be feeling spaced out. Some of you were so peacefully sitting in the lap of Yoga Nidra when these names are going on. So question may come now. You may feel disconnected. Oh, so many names. Why so many names are given? Because one item changed from the right hand to the left hand, from the lower hand to the right hand, top hand. Why to know about all these names? What to do about it? So my question is, if you go through this education and now you come to understand, imagine you have understood the greatness of the Lord. How great Lord is, how great Krishna. Let's not take the word Lord. Krishna, first of all, the unique thing about Krishna, he doesn't look like God. He looks so much like us. That's the problem there. Vishnu still looks like Lord because he has two extra hands. Shivji still looks like Lord because he has a snake on his neck. Ram is also looks like an ordinary man. So let's about Krishna. Krishna looks so much like us. He's a 16-year-old boy. He's having so many girlfriends, and we are praying to him. So how your perspective would change is my question to you. If you understood how great Krishna is, how your perspective to this particular pastime of he dancing with the cowherd girls of Vrindavan, of many of them are already married. Now that's my question. Yes.
So, Prabhuji, after hearing this, we could understand that we are mostly in the ignorance. Because of our ignorance only, we are not able to see what exactly the importance of the Ras Leela or what exactly that mean. Means we could see that there are a number of forms of Krishna, and earlier we do not know, or means currently we do not know that how Lord is great. And even the activity of the Lord is so perfect and
Okay.
so in that way, we could understand that the Ras Leela is the most important and we can say most sublime.
No. That's not that way. Not
But
that
we
way.
couldn't
You're
understand because of our ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance. Okay, but you're missing the point here. You're correct. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're also correct. Again, in context of the question I'm asking, why? Point is, why would Chaitanya
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mahaprabhu like this? Yes, Prashant Sarvabu, go ahead. Your hand is up.
Hare Krishna, Pranam. So generally, we get to hear in the outside world related to some character problem with the Krishna because he's dancing with 16,000 gopi and doing Ras Leela. But when
Not
we know
16,000, they were wives, 100 crores.
yes. So when we get to know the greatness of
nothing is left for you to get married now. What is the population of India? 120 crores approximately. 120. 100 crore तो कृष्णा ले गया तो तुम कैसे शादी करोगे? Nothing is left.
everything is of Krishna only.
So again, okay, fine.
So when we get to know the greatness of Lord, so we see the Ras Leela as the exchange of loving reciprocation of Krishna as he is doing in other pastime, just like he is doing the exchange with Bhishma.
All right, got it. Go more fundamental. Yes, Mother Prachi, you were saying, I believe.
Yes, Prabhuji. My understanding is very little and very simple. What I think is
That's okay. It's
two
all
things.
we're discussing. All of you are correct. Only
Yes.
we're just trying to pull out something.
So
Yes.
what I think is, he's so great, and everything belongs to him only. So it's means क्या जाता है सब कुछ उनका ही है तो उन्होंने enjoy कर लिया तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? And the second thing is, he's so great that he deserves it. Like simply,
Okay. All right.
simple example that I could. Okay, fine.
Fine. Thank you, Mother. Mother Medhavni.
मीन्स जैसे एक जस्ट सिंपल एग्जांपल जैसे प्राइम मिनिस्टर है मतलब वो इतना हार्ड वर्क करते इतना सब कुछ चलाते हैं तो उन्होंने कुछ फैसिलिटीज ले भी ली है तो इट्स
Hey, Krishna doesn't do any hard work, huh? It's a very wrong example.
No.
He's not doing any hard work. So Krishna does hard work.
Great
Let
in
him
the
have
sense
some
greatness
fun.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you
Hare
for that. Yes, Mother Medhavni.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam. Prabhuji, I was just thinking that when we hear the greatness of Krishna, to that extent, we develop humility. Generally, we try to imitate or compete with people whom we think are, kind of approachable, whom we can try to imitate and be like them.
That's the
So
point.
when we know that somebody is so much out of reach, we have so much awe and reverence for them that the competing mentality dies down. And I was remembering, as well as Radhanath Maharaj was saying, when we understand the greatness of the Lord completely, then humility is honesty. Then we will live our life. If we live our life honestly, we will understand that humility is natural. It'll come naturally to us like that. Thank you.
So
Prabhu.
thank you. That was the point. We begin again, please do not forget. It's again a conditioned nature. We keep forgetting. Our default conditioned nature is of envy. Okay. So don't say Krishna, I love Krishna, this and all. It doesn't happen like that. Our default state is envy. Now, why is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going into so much details of it? One way to overcome envy is to understand that we just cannot envy that person because he's so much beyond our reach. For example, most of you are IT engineers, let's speak to all of you. I don't think so you will ever become envious of Elon Musk. Why? Because he's a god in your technology. You will only offer full Dandas Pranam to him. वह मतलब ही नहीं बनता. He is accepted as a incarnation of God, Shakti Avesh Avatar in your technology. But you have a fellow friend, or maybe a senior, maybe your manager. To that person you may envy if you find some familiarity. So to remove this any scope of familiarity, which we are so conditioned, we want to bring everyone on our level. So much so, if you, in our current condition, if you're given association of our guru also, we will begin to envy him. We will begin to our level and begin to envy him. बोले यार ये भी 16 माला करता है, मैं भी 16 माला करता हूँ, ये भी दिया दिखाता है, मैं भी दिया दिखाता हूँ. Because the conditioned nature is we again and again look at points where we are familiar. So fundamentally, as I said, विष्णु तो ठीक है, फिर भी हम नहीं एनवी करेंगे क्योंकि 2 हाथ एक्स्ट्रा है. शिव जी चलो ठीक है क्योंकि गले में सांप है, हम गले में सांप पहन के नहीं घूम सकते. राम का क्या है? He looks like so much like us. What about Krishna? He looks so much like us. So why he gets and I don't get it? And that had been the core envy of the Mayavadis. And that's where people don't accept like this. So we are coming from that background. We should not forget that. So here a very important lesson. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is building the subject matter in relation to the Lord, similarly you will see in relation to a spiritual master, a subject matter is also built. Just like we glorify Krishna. Do we glorify Guru? Yes or no? How do we glorify Guru? Any examples? Your morning prayer starts with, it doesn't happen in any Gaudiya Math. It only happens in ISKCON where we sing Samsara Dava, that prayer. No Gaudiya Math. Have you ever wondered, we are having darshan of the Lord. Rather than singing about the Lord, what are you singing? Any connect? Anyone like to give me an answer? What's happening here? If you've ever meditated on the meaning, what's going on? No, give me an answer if you thought of. Don't give me an answer if you heard in a class. I want you to think. If you already heard it, that's not your answer. You're saying, which is good. But I want you to think about it. Have you ever thought about why are we singing about Samsara Davanala prayers? Has got nothing to do with the Lord. We are taking darshan of the Lord while we are meditating on something else. While taking darshan of the Lord, we are meditating on Guru. Why like this? Then we can have Guru darshan only in the beginning. So what's the idea behind it? Yes, Mother Shruti.
Without Guru, we cannot find our Lord. So the Guru will only take us to the Lord. So first, and Lord also will not accept us if we don't give obeisances to Guru.
So offer obeisances to Prabhupada and then now sing for Krishna. You're looking at Krishna as singing about Guru.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prasad here.
Yes. Who is speaking?
Yeah. So Prasad here.
Prasad Prabhu, yes.
Yeah. So so in morning prayer we give we pray Guru as a god, like he is like a god, so that we don't get envious of him. So that's why we pray.
Okay. So in the morning we pray him as a god. By evening he becomes a human being. Like that. Okay.
God is not present with us, so he is being manifested in the form of Guru.
Okay. So if that's the case, my question. Okay, if that's the case, if you think, my question is, when we offer Guru Puja, then why during Guru Puja, why don't we offer Guru Puja to the altar? Why during Guru Puja? Why we are offering Guru Puja to Prabhupada? Because Guru Ashtakam is also for Guru, na? Then change your direction, face towards Srila Prabhupada. Now sing Guru Ashtakam. Darshan ho gaya na? Just like in the morning you have Darshanarti. After Darshanarti, what happens? Guru Puja. So you got a 4:30 darshan. Now turn towards Prabhupada and have Guru Ashtakam.
Prabhuji,
Okay,
when
yes,
the Guru
anyone
is
here?
so great.
Yes, Abhishek Prabhu. Mike क्या है? बोलो बोलो.
The first Lord only had, spiritual master had only takes us to a Lord, and then Lord gets basically when we praise or we glorify his devotees,
So my
he gets
question
more
is,
pleased.
all right, agreed. If that's the case, so rest of the Gaudiya doesn't know about it. I mean, rest of the Gaudiya, who established Gaudiya? Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. So he didn't know about it. The Guru only takes us to Krishna. So why would ISKCON has it? They wouldn't have it. Which means Bhakti Siddhanta didn't establish that. So why would we have it? If now you say because Guru is everything, so it
So
should have
Lord
happened.
gets more pleased when his devotees are glorified.
So Bhakti Siddhanta didn't know about this principle.
Time, place, circumstances.
Achha, so now Lord is more pleased.
No, Prabhupada. No. Prabhupada, when he sees that there's deep-rooted
Your
envy.
answer is correct. But again, in a specific context of the morning program, because ISKCON has it. So if you say ISKCON has it because of this Guru and please and all that, then what about Gaudiya? It is started by Bhakti Siddhanta.
Because we should not forget, who had gratitude, who had.
So Gaudiya people are allowed to forget?
No. It is depend on the acharyas. We cannot say this because spiritual flavors.
It depend on acharyas. In general, we don't change things. In general, we don't change things.
But when they see that,
have added this, which means Prabhupada must have seen something very particularly, right?
Bypassing maybe these impersonalist tendencies are more Mayavadi tendencies.
So, what is Prabhupada's pranam mantra? Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharya Nirvishesh and Shunyavadi. Pashataya Desha. That's the answer. Nirvishesh and Shunyavadi. Srila Prabhupada started this whole thing in the West. And this impersonalistic and nihilistic idea was so strong. In the West, people are so impersonal. They don't even bother about their own family members. There's no relationships in that sense. We still have something in that way. So His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Swami Maharaj was saying, a beautiful point. He said, the devotees in the West are more impersonal than the Mayavadis of India. I'll repeat again if you understood that. Bhakti Vigyan Swami Maharaj was making point. The devotees in the West are more impersonal than the Mayavadis of India. Where at least Mayavadis still they relate to you, identify you. It's Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. It was so much. And to get rid of that, we had to emphasize Guru Bhakti. And Bharatbhumi, that was just not, it was a culture, had been a culture, we celebrate Guru Purnima and whatnot. That's the reason Prabhupada established this tendency. Now, second point. So now you may think, हमें तो जरूरत ही नहीं है, हम तो भारत में जन्मे हैं. So His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said, well, when Prabhupada went to West, that was West. Now India is the new West. Now India is the new West. So we are or more impersonal and what do you say, identify more with Shunyavadi kind of tendencies. Therefore, it is so much needed, this aspect. So therefore, in any such senior relationships, it is good to maintain a distance, and there should be such an amount of respect. Because if that doesn't happen there, it will not manifest in relationship with Krishna. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu right now is establishing that principle. Evam para prapti. That's the concept here. All right. I hope this is making some sense here. So we can conclude here. Where we ended today? We ended with this. Eighth chapter will be. So each chapter will go into details of it. So I hope you're understanding why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved meditating on pastimes. He could have just narrated pastime to Sanatana Goswami. Why would he go into the subject matter, which our fellows are so happily sleeping in the class hearing about it, huh? मतलब इनको सुनते सुनते कितने खुशी खुशी सो रहे थे. तो why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talk about it? Which is a little dry in one sense. Pastimes are always interesting. Imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu narrating pastime. Could there be anyone better than that, describing Krishna's pastime? He didn't do that. He discussed philosophy, he discussed tattva. It's needed for that. All right. So thank you all for your kind attention. We pause. Yes, Dhananjay have something to say. Can we have a mic here so that those who are online understand? Or if not, if it is our discussion, we can have it. We can close online. Yes. Boliye.
So it is last paragraph. It is mentioned that Yuga Avataras, and it is said that generally in Kali Yuga, Yuga Avatar is blackish, but special Kali Yuga it is yellowish. So who is that blackish Yuga Avatar?
Kalki Avatar.
Kalki Avatar, and
That
this
is
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is.
It's a golden complexion, like that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I'll have to look at it. If he Kalki Avatar is every yuga he appears. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears every yuga, and I'll have to look into it. The Krishna appears once in a day of Brahma. So I don't know. We'll have to see. So this is more just like Srimad Bhagavatam says. Actually, the 4 yuga cycle is Satya, Dwapar, Treta, and Kali Yuga. Not Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali Yuga. But when Krishna appears, that time it interchanges. Then it becomes Satya, Treta, and then Dwapar and Kali Yuga. Again, this is a subject matter of details to get into it. Yes, Prabhu.
I also heard that Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Roja, I also heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also appeared in every yuga. But like this, you said, when Krishna appeared, that Krishna same also comes at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in other yuga, that is Vasudev Krishna that appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in that case, who is like Yuga Avatar, Kalki or that Vasudev?
I don't know that. These are actually things we'll have to refer to Acharya's commentaries for that. These are not so straightforward mention in Prabhupada's writing. Prabhupada didn't go into details of this. Prabhupada's writings are more practical based. Regarding this, I'll have to also look at it. I don't know. Okay. Hare Krishna. Abhishek? Yes.
How much we should?
Is online would be audible? Bolo.
How much content of our reading should be of jnana and how much should be like pastime?
Question is how much content of our reading should be?
As we are in this, and this jnana gives you the Aishwarya Bhav. The more we have knowledge of Lord Krishna and more we are daily remembering that knowledge. It's not like
What was Prabhupada's formula for reading? You remember? What Prabhupada gave a formula for reading? Anyone knows? What was Prabhupada's formula for reading?
That's like Bhagavad Gita.
So Prabhupada's formula was Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam in the morning, Bhagavad Gita in the evening, and before going off to bed, read Krishna book. All right, that answers.
If that much quota is not there, which you kind of servicing.
Okay.
Then what should be? In today's,
I guess we'll have our discussion here. We'll conclude the online meeting because they will not be hearing. So thank you all for joining in. We'll conclude now.